singer who came to international public attention when she appeared as a contestant on a reality TV program. Her first album was released in November 2009 and she soon made it to the Guinness Book of Records for being the oldest person to reach #1 with a debut album in UK. But a quick introspection into her past reveals a different story. Susan as a child had to overcome a lot of challenges. She had learning disabilities. But when she appeared on that reality event, she became a star overnight. She was addressed as Simple Susie for being plain and haggardly. But this didn't stop her to become the star. She realized that her fear was just the beginning, but an end to her all worries. Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, a warm good evening to all of you. Franklin D. Roosevelt has said, "The only thing we have to fear is the fear itself." Fear is that killer emotion that exists in all living entities. The feeling that makes our knees weak, the sensation that cripples us in spite of our daring deeds, and that electricity that blanks out our entire system and leads to total obliteration. According to the public opinion, the common types of fear are the fear of heights, the fear of social rejection, the fear of intimacy, fear of examinations, fear of public speaking, and the list is endless. How many of you here have the fear of public speaking? Yes, it is the one that makes our knees weak as we approach to the center of a gathering. Most of us have joined IBTMC to overcome this fear, the fear that pronouncing a word incorrectly might bring ridicule from the audience, or the dread that lapse of a memory might turn us into an object of mockery. This distrust holds us back, and hence the fear of public speaking encompasses us. But I feel that if we manage to walk up to a dais without a thought on our head, we will outperform our expectations. And that is what I do. Whenever I am asked to speak in front of a gathering, I don't think that what the audience would think about me if I fumble midway, or what will happen if I say something incorrect. Because I believe that those who never make mistakes lose great chances of learning something. So I just go to the dais and speak my heart out. Friends, don't let the devils of fear hold you back. Just express your thoughts and opinions confidently and vanquish your fear. Let me narrate you a story about a girl who was bounded by the fear of social rejection. She hesitated to go to social gatherings. She felt that she wasn't smart, trendy, beautiful, or intelligent enough to mingle with those people at the functions. And hence, she thought that no one would befriend her. She created a shell around herself. Well, that girl was a painter who could create funny portraits based on her observations. The sad part was that she was constantly ridiculed by everyone around her because of her restricted nature. One fine day, she was forced to go to a party, and as usual, she sat at a corner of a ballroom with no one to give her company. She started painting. At that instant, she lamented to herself, "Why is that I am so reluctant in joining them? How happy these people look. Should I change myself to suit their needs?" She failed to realize that her strength was in her artistic abilities. At that time, a charming young man entered the ballroom. He got attracted to this girl and her paintings caught his eye. She felt a bit nervous thinking about the guy's choice. Why in the world would he choose me when there are so many beautiful girls around? But she started talking to him. And they soon found they had plenty in common. For the first time in her life, she realized that she need not be an introvert anymore. She could go along with the strangers so quickly. Probably she hung out with wrong set of people who hardly respected her views. She realized that changing herself to adapt to the society did not matter. In fact, people will appreciate her talent and approach her. Friends, the fear of public speaking doesn't mean that people mold themselves to the environment and go down to the rhythm of society. If we stand out with our innate abilities, we will definitely be approached by people. What do you think you should have to overcome fear? Any of you? Confidence. Anything else?
The desire to overcome.
Yeah. Don't you think so? The most important thing is you should have is courage. Courage is not the lack of fear. Courage is the ability to face it. Be it any type of fear, the only solution to overcome your fear is by facing it. Know your fear and permit it to pass through you. For the last 24 years, I have been accompanied by one fear that hangs around me like a shadow, and that is the fear of ghosts. I have grown up listening to stories of haunted souls, dark nights, witches, and this had rendered a pattern within me. On 30th October, my friend Shweta had to go for Bangalore. I decided to shift to another friend's place because I knew that I'm not going to stay alone. But at that moment, she challenged me and advised me not to miss this chance to get rid of my fear of ghosts. After a lot of thinking process, I decided to stay back. I knew that there would be no one to give me company throughout the day and the night. Just me and myself. For the first couple of nights, I did feel that there is something under my bed or there is someone knocking at my door at past midnight. But slowly, I realized that these were just thoughts within me and not from an external source. I realized that no one is going to eat me. Hands won't pop out of thin air, and the mirror would show only my image and not that of a headless ghost. Now, when I look back at those instances, it seems to be like a big funny joke. I have overcome my fear and sleep peacefully whenever I'm alone at home. Well, friends, I got rid of this fear because I dared to challenge it and face it. Our greatest fears would lead us to missing out of wonderful events in life. A fear would restrict us to a deep well that won't reveal the beauty of the world outside. If you feel that fear was indomitable, do you think that Neil Armstrong would have dared to go to space and walk on the moon? Columbus would have never discovered America, and Wright brothers would have never attempted a flight. The people we worship are heroes because they conquered their greatest fears. If you think that your fear restricts you, binds you, or sends shiver down your spine, think for a moment. When you were small and started taking your first steps, were you afraid to fall? Friends, our distrust in ourselves lead to failure. Remember, you could try something and fail, but if you gave up your efforts even before trying it, you would have created another fear. And as the line to the dune goes, I must not fear. The fear is a mind killer. Fear is a little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when the fear has gone past, I will turn my inner eye to see its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. Over to you, my Master.